All right, here's the third video, part 3 of the Chapter 7 review. We're going to look at 10 and 11 and go from there. So 10 and 11 are both equations, and you're going to do them both very similarly. So the first thing you're going to see is look for the least common denominator here, and just think about all the factors that exist, and just multiply all the tops by one of each factor. So I have a 3 and an x squared. So I'm going to multiply everything by 3x squared. So right now all I'm doing is just recopying everything. I'm giving myself some room. So as I said, we're going to multiply every single fraction by 3x squared. So right here, times 3x squared. This times 3x squared. This times 3x squared. So I just basically multiply both sides of the equation by 3x squared, which you're always allowed to do. Now cancel all the denominators. So this 3 cancels with this 3. I still have that x squared here. This whole 3x squared factors out with this entire 3x squared. That's nice, as does this one. So it looks like I'm going to get a really simple equation here, which is always nice. I have a 1x squared. You don't have to write the 1. I have an x plus 7 times 1, and that equals x plus 8 times 1, or just x plus 8. Now notice this is a quadratic because you have an x squared. So what we're going to have to do is move everything over to this side. I have x squared. I have x here and x here. So x minus x is 0. And then I have 7 minus 8, which is negative 1. So I had the x's are gone. But remember, this is a quadratic. If you look at it closely, it's a difference of squares. So you can't factor this into x plus 1, x minus 1. And that tells you the solutions are x equals negative 1 and x equals 1. Check to make sure they don't make any of the denominators 0. They don't, so they're not extraneous. Those are your two solutions. That was easy. 11. 11, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to want to factor first. It's just going to make your life a whole bunch easier. So x minus 5 doesn't factor, but this second denominator factors. Factors of 10 that add up to negative 7 or negative 5 and negative 2. And this all equals 4 over x minus 2, which doesn't factor. So now we're looking for the common denominator. We have an x minus 5 here, an x minus 5 here, and an x minus 2 here, and also an x minus 2 here. So you could multiply everything by all of those, but don't use any of these twice. It will make your life a little bit easier. So just multiply everything by one of the x minus 5s and one of the x minus 2s. And then you have everything covered. So x minus 5, x minus 2, and so on. X minus 5, x minus 2, and finally x minus 5, x minus 2. So as usual with equations, now you're going to cancel out everything that you can. This x minus 5, this x minus 5, all the denominators are going to cancel. X minus 5, x minus 2 with x minus 5, x minus 2, and x minus 2 with x minus 2. So we're left with 1 times x minus 2 plus x plus 3, everything else canceled, equals 4 times x minus 5. If you notice, this is a linear equation, so you're just going to get x's to one side. The first thing I'll do is just combine everything I can on the left. So x plus x is 2x. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. I'm going to distribute the 4 on the right. So it's 4x minus 20. I'm going to bring this 4x over here. And I'm going to bring this 1 over here. And then all I have to do is divide by 2. Divide by negative 2, I meant to say. And when you have a negative divided by a negative, you always get a positive. So a negative 21 over a negative 2 is 21 over 2, positive. So that was 10 and 11. And 12 is the last equation we need to solve on this review. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And it's just the same as everything else. You're going to factor anything you can first. So here I go. I am going to change this to plus a negative 4x. Factors of 18 that add up to negative 3, x minus 6, x plus 3. And we have the same thing over here. So that's good. That means a lot of things are going to cancel. So if you look at the common denominator, you have an x minus 6 and an x plus 3. So multiply both sides, or every single numerator, by x minus 6, x plus 3, the least common denominator. And then cancel out all the denominators. So this x minus 6, this x minus 6. Both of these factors with both of these factors, and both of these factors with both of these factors. So this question looked kind of complicated at first, but look what we're left with. 1 times x plus 3 plus negative 4x equals 5. It's a linear equation. Get all the x's. We'll just leave them on the left. So x minus 4x is negative 3x. Move that 3 over. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then divide by a negative 3. So it's 2 divided by a negative 3, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So you usually write it as negative 2 over 3. And make sure it doesn't make any of the denominator 0. It's not going to, so it's not extraneous. It is the solution. And that's that. So there's the next part of the review is all the graphing and stuff, intercepts and asymptotes, and we'll do that in the next video.